Hey, what's up, y'all? Yeah. So I had a question already from our Slack channel. Folks asking me about what super special plans I have going on today. This is it. This is it. This is all I got. Nothing super big planned for my birthday today. Just hanging out with y'all for an hour or two, and that's pretty much it. That and then getting back to work. Finishing catching up HeavyCon stuff, and then working on new content. We're going to be recording editing, and releasing, I guess, the HeavyCon recap episode tonight as well. So that'll be fun. Looking forward to that. Other than that, not a whole lot really. Pretty uneventful number 42. But hey, life, the universe, and everything, right? I guess I ought to welcome everybody. So hey, welcome to a special birthday edition of Ask the Elephants, to where y'all get to hang out with me here and ask me questions. So yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. Now, last time I didn't have the chat up, so I figure I'd go ahead and bust that up for this week. So yeah, let me tweak here. There we go. All right. So let's see. There we go. All right. So what's going on with y'all? Oh, hey, let's see. Hello, everybody. Ryan, Jared, Dave, etc. Hey, how's it going? Lisboa's delayed. I'll be honest, I didn't hear that. And here, let me move this so you right there. That's actually the advanced copy of the actual Lisboa and not just the prototype. We're going to be doing, I might be doing an unboxing later, just to show it off, because we're live streaming it on Tuesday in advance of Origins. So maybe it didn't make it in time. I hope it did. I'll be honest, it's the first I heard. Got Kickstarter email. Man, that's a bummer. Well, we'll still show off the actual final edition of it. Somebody was asking, what am I drinking today? Hot tea. It's Constant Comment. Water. And I have backup tea in case. So yeah, that's it. Super exciting, right? 2 a.m. Friday. Vince, that's right. Where are you? You're across the pond somewhere, are you not? So let's see. Hold on. If it's 2 a.m., no, you're down in Australia or New Zealand, I think, right? Cool. Yeah, it's a bummer about Lisboa. Let me bring this back down. So stop teasing y'all. I'm not doing that on purpose. Wow. The whole reason we were going to live stream Lisboa on Tuesday was ahead of us flying out for Origins on Wednesday, to show folks and get them excited for that. So that's really a bummer. I didn't see the email, so I will, I'll have to take a look, I guess. All right. All right, so let's get started. Let's see. Next tattoo. All right, Ryan. So that's an interesting question. So I have that one. Yep, there we go. Which is actually my ex-wife's name in Chinese. I have my Celtic Trinity symbols on my forearms, or forearm. I have my More Than Galileo Love the Stars tattoo here that is actually how Amanda used to sign all her emails and letters to me when we were courting. And so got that done the day before, day after we got married. I forgot which it was. Oh, terrible husband. And then I have a couple more on my back, a Celtic cross with my initials hanging off of it, as well as the Chinese symbol for rabbit in what looks like somebody just took a paintbrush and brushed it on. So all of my tattoos signify an important part of my life that was going on at the moment. And so figured, there's a few that haven't been, I haven't marked, I guess, or I haven't gotten tattoos for them that I need to. My Marine Corps tattoo, I never have been able to decide what and where. Do I get the USMC? Do I get US Marines? Do I get the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor? Do I get a Bulldog? Whatever. So I do want to get that, and I think that would probably be my next one. I also don't have anything to mark my professional poker playing days, and so I want to get something for that, because again, it's kind of almost like a lifetime line on me, and that's why I will never regret any of my tattoos, because they all were important to me at the time at which they mark something important in my life. And so that's my reason for getting tattoos. And so, yeah, you know what? I might do that. I might get a new tattoo here in the next couple weeks. That's a good idea. So Amanda, if you're watching, that's an idea. All right, let's see what else. Any idea, hints about what the big development regarding the reprint of Container will be? Jeff asks. Yes, I know. No, I'm not allowed to say. Just what I've been told that I can share is they're thinking of doing something special, which I don't think really is news. Kevin Nesbitt from Mercury Games has, alluded to something along those lines anyway. But what I will say is it'll be a special edition. Let's put it that way. They want to do. And so from what I saw on Twitter and from what I've heard from Kevin directly is things are looking promising that they were going to be able to do what it is they want to do. So that's cool. I know that a Kickstarter is tentatively planned for later on this year. I would say fourth quarter of 2017. So look for it then. And we'll probably do a live stream of Container leading up to the announcement, which, either with or without the new edition. So there's that. Oh, China. That's right, Vince. All right. I'm a little behind. Sorry, guys. Excited for Lisboa. Yeah, we are too. And actually, the Thursday of Origins, so in other words, a week from today, we will be releasing our review of Lisboa, because we've had the prototype now since, I don't know, a month or two maybe after BGGCon. We've been playing that. We live streamed a couple of the prototype versions. We're going to live stream the actual version, which is right there that I showed y'all on Tuesday. And we will have already recorded our review by then as well. This just in, we really like it. I don't think that's a really big surprise. I taught it a couple times to folks at HeavyCon and went really well. So yeah, definitely. If you're a fan of Vital Lacerda's games, there's no reason that you won't be a fan of Lisboa. Let's put it that way. Let's see. Unplayed games. Yeah, there's a number of them. Because remember, our first year in the hobby, so we got into the hobby in September of 2013 at this point, 2012, 2013. It's all blurring together, and acquired over 500 games our first year. And because I don't know how to do anything half-assed. And I'm very grateful for the secondhand market, the used game market, whether it's the majority of our games before the podcast started getting a lot of review copies, so on and so forth. A lot of our games were bought secondhand, mostly through BGG auctions and a little bit through eBay. And I think that's pretty much it. I almost never bought new games just because you could find deals if you're patient. And so I was very patient. And in BGG auctions, don't ever buy just one or two games. You wait until you find an auction where it has multiple games that you want to buy, and it saves on shipping, and you get them for a discounted price, and that's how we were able to do it. So, yeah. But as far as unplayed, yeah, we still have a number of them. But the good news is that means there's a ton of games that we can both review on the podcast as well as live stream here on the YouTube channel. So, yay, win for y'all, win for us. Everyone drives home in a Cadillac, right? Let's see. All right. Oh, yeah, I'm definitely behind. Amanda says she doesn't remember either, so I'm off the hook. Good. All right. Phew, good. New tat when we hit 1,000 supporters on Patreon. Deal. Deal. It's on tape. All right, fine. We hit 1,000 supporters on Patreon. I will get some sort of heavy cardboard type tattoo. We hit 1,000 deal. So we're at what? 215. We got a ways to go. Maybe we could hit that by tomorrow. If we do, then I guess I'm off to go get a new tattoo. But we have you. Yes, that'd be awesome. Yeah, and that would be a monumental thing in my life. So yeah, that makes total sense, right? You notice that when I was talking about tattoos, that I never mentioned that the show, because I don't know if I can do it full time, long term yet. So I mean, it's still a huge part of our lives. The last few days, really, last few years. But yeah, we hit 1,000. You got it. I challenge accepted. Is it for y'all now? All right. Let's see. Can we say if it's the same? Dave's asking about Container, if it's going to be the same game or if they're going to be changing it. I don't know. Genuine answer. What I do think is they're going to be including the second shipment, the expansion and the modules and all that. I'm pretty sure they're going to include that in the game so that it's now just a complete game. Because if for anybody that has Container and has the expansion, the two things that almost everybody I think universally plays with are the gold containers as well as player loans. So there's no reason not to include those. How far are we going? Scott asks, how far are we going to go down the Stratomatic rabbit hole? Well, that is 100% on Scotty Bedell and Jim from Punching Cardboard. It's their fault from HeavyCon. They were Jim had breached the subject of, hey, I'm going to bring Stratomatic to HeavyCon. Anybody want to play a tournament? And I was like, dude, that sounds like a lot of fun, because I never played Stratomatic growing up. There was a gap between childhood and like 2012 where I didn't even know board games existed. And so I'm still catching up to all these games that, oh yeah, I played those for 20 years. And I'm like, eh. So I played my first game against Scotty. It was, I saved the sheet, the tracking sheet that had the lineups. It had the scorebook and everything from it at HeavyCon. And it was my Reds versus the last year's Reds, which were horrible. And I feel terrible that I can't remember who. He played some equally terrible team last year and ended up winning. Had a lot of fun. And then when Jim came here the day after HeavyCon, we played last year's teams, and he's a huge Cubs fan. Boo. And I played my Cincinnati Reds. There. Played my Reds. So the Cubs won the World Series last year, and my Reds finished with the second worst record in all of baseball. Yet, my Reds found a way in extras. Walk-off home run by Zach Cozart. That was awesome. And then Scotty offered to buy Asher. Not me and Amanda. He offered to buy Asher, Stratomatic. And he asked what year. And I was like, well, maybe 2010 or 2012, because that's when the Reds were good. I'm anxious to get the 2017 version of the game when it comes out, I guess, at the end or at the beginning of next season, because my Reds are actually pretty decent. So that'll be a lot of fun. And I see the possibility of me and Amanda really enjoying that, because we're both big baseball fans. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Now, if you like charts and you like stats and you like baseball, then that's something definitely that I would highly recommend, because it's addictive. It's a lot of fun. If you don't like either of those things, stay far, far away. All right. And it's all about dice rolling. And I would think if you were to play out a whole 162 game season, I bet you those dice rolls would even out overall. And they would, as they say, show up to be just like what's on the back of their baseball card. So I think that'd be pretty cool. I'd like to try that. And maybe have a little ongoing blog on heavycardboard.com, just like Stratomatic 2016 season, or, well, I'll do it next year when the new version comes out so that I have a decent team to play with. Yeah, anyway, moving on. Now that I've put everybody to sleep with Stratomatic talk. Oh yeah, thanks for the reminder, Brad. All our patrons, who was it? It was Mario. That's right, Mario made a micro badge on BGG for all our patrons that they can purchase. So awesome! If you want to be a part of that, right there, patreon.com/heavy cardboard. All right, so let's see. Vince says, interesting that you have at least 2 different Chinese language tattoos. Couple of questions. Is it traditional Chinese character, meaning those used in Hong Kong and Taipei, or simplified? I think traditional, but I am very much an American in that respect. I don't know. I will, you know what? I will find out for you because now I'm curious. So hold on. Okay, noted. Let's see. Oh, Brian Olmstead. Yes. He's one of our local guys. Best thing about dominant species. Not him, but we're going to do that. Talk about that later. He's been on a couple of the live streams. Let's see. Yes, I would love to get a Stratomatic League going recently. Let's see. What's on top of Lisboa? Oh, here, I'll go through these real quick. I'll move the chat and show you guys. All right. So tomorrow, because I don't have anything planned as far as live stream, and I actually don't have a show to prepare for, I don't have anything like that. So I thought I would do 2 things tomorrow. One, I would do an unboxing of Lisboa. I realize unboxings are but people might be curious because it's coming. So there's that. And also, it's the 2017 Winsome set. Ooh. All right, so here's what it comes with. I'm sure there are pictures on BGG already about it, but tomorrow I'm going to do 2 separate things. The unboxing of Lisboa, as well as kind of a tear apart and show off, not really unboxing, but more or less a description of the Winsome set, since our buddy Paul Chad got his set already, and I thought I would show it off. I actually called John Bohr last night, touch base with him, and make sure that he was cool with that, because it's not available for public consumption yet. And so he's like, yeah, just don't tell people to send me money. He says, don't do that. And I said, okay, I will not do that. So don't do that. All right. But anyway, here, I would show it off. So yeah, here, there's the 3 ones. Woo. You have to tune in tomorrow to see more. But anyway, there's that. Let's see. Move that back. There we go. Lurd, or is it Lurd K or Lurd DK? I'm not sure. Anyway, he asked, would you ever consider doing a live play of Phil Eklund's High Frontier? I'll do one better for you. We have not only considered it, it's already on the schedule, because we're stupid, crazy like that. So yes, we are going to be live streaming High Frontier. At least most of the game, if not a full game. The teaching and the live play. That terrifies the hell out of me, I'll be honest. But tentative plan is July 16th. And you might be wondering why July 16th. Well, A, it happens to be a weekend, so yay, that's a Sunday. Second, what happened on July 16th? The moon landing. Seems kind of thematically appropriate, doesn't it? So we're going to do a 3-player live stream of High Frontier. It's not going to be with all the bells and whistles. It's going to be the basic game plus a little bit of colonization mixed in, and just to hope and pray I don't completely butcher it. There you go. So there's that. Spread the word. Let's see. How is Container at 2 players? Yeah. Honestly, if you're going to play a 2-player game, Container's not the one you want to grab off the shelf. How's that? At least in its current form. Okay? Whatever happened to the Lignum giveaway? I may have missed it. Nope. We forgot because of HeavyCon. So we're going to do that later on today. Sorry. Yeah, I suppose people would like to, find out if they won that. So yeah, my bad. That's 100% this guy. I will do that when I'm done. Hold on. I'll write it down. Lignum giveaway. There we go. I might even do it at the end of the stream here. We'll see. I lost my spot. Shoot. There we go. Yeah, and yes, I almost forgot it during the live stream, and yes, I forgot it again. I am terrible. This is why I live in a world of lists. If it's not written down or a reminder on my phone, which it's full of reminders, I don't function. I have the memory of a goldfish, apparently, as I get older. 42 today. That's weird. Like, I never thought. Like 42 is not old. I mean, I feel like I'm in pretty good, condition and shape right now. Now, still need to go to the gym more, and I want to get back in playing basketball on Monday nights. But yeah, 42, still young, but I also never thought of myself as a 42-year-old. Like what it would just. Yeah, that's weird. Anyway. Oh, what else? Let's see. Oh. Can you show us, Jeff says, can you show us the difference between the components in Indonesia First Edition and Second Edition, or explain the difference, and how can you easily play Second Edition without the component upgrade? Yes, we will. When we live stream the playthrough on Sunday of Indonesia, we're going to be playing with the donated copy of the Second Edition, and we will be giving it away after the live stream, or mention how to do the giveaway, and then we'll give it away after the live stream. That said, there are slight changes to the map, considerable difference in the components, and yes, the wooden pieces are comically large in the Second Edition. At the same time, they are completely functional as long as you use the chits for the companies, for the factories, and use the wooden bits for deliveries, and it's totally functional. Not ideal, maybe, but it's a total non-issue in my opinion. But folks like to complain. I would rather have the overly large components in Indonesia Second Edition than not having Indonesia. So there's that. But yes, we will show a compare contrast during the live stream on Sunday. So look for it then. All right, Dave says, pretty sure Asher will let you borrow Stratomatic if you want to play. That's good. He is a team player. He's actually asleep right over there, chilling out. Oh, he's a Greyhound, so obviously, right? Travis, happy birthday. Thank you, sir. Very much appreciate that. Simon says, how do you feel about Sierra Madre's games? Which have we played, and do we have any favorites? All right, well, I have played all of the PAX series, Porfiriana, Pamir, and PAX Ren, and now I can say I've played High Frontier a couple of times. How do I feel about them? I like them. I definitely like them. They're very opaque and hard. High Frontier's not opaque. That's the thing. It will remind you, and you will hear this a lot when we live stream it. Space is hard. Yeah, it's really hard. Ask Matt, Brian, Dave, or Amanda, or Ash. It's hard. I ran an 8-hour game of it last weekend. Didn't go so well. Hopefully next one goes better. But the PAX series I absolutely adore. I love Porfiriana before I played Pamir or PAX Ren, and I haven't played enough of Pamir to really say definitively where it would fall as far as which one I like the most. But I think now that I'm 8 games into PAX Renaissance, I'm finally starting to really grok the game, and I think that's going to be my favorite one of the bunch so far. My favorite Eklund game. I guess I have played Greenland once as well. Haven't played Neanderthal. We have it though, and have Bios Megafauna. Haven't played it yet though. So, but yeah, I'm a fan. I really enjoy Phil's games. I appreciate how the luck plays into things in the games. What is it? Bios Genesis. I have not played. We have that. Amanda played it, and that one looks intimidating. I'll be honest. But luckily, we have somebody local that can teach it. So I am not a fan of trying to learn Phil's games from the rule books. So that's the type of game that I like being taught, and then go back and read the rule book afterwards and either A, find out what we played wrong, or B, at least it'll make sense now that I have a frame of reference. Even if I didn't grok the game completely, I'll at least be like, oh, okay, I understand that. But actually being able to do those things in game is a little bit tougher, but at least it'll make sense. So there's that. I know you're planning on 1822 playthrough. Any other 18xx games on the docket? Yes, 1822 is probably going to be the first weekend in July, which happens to be July 4th weekend. Although I think that's on a Tuesday, which is really a crappy day to have a holiday. Tuesday. I mean, it kind of cuts out the whole week as far as productivity, right? I don't think anyone's going to, I mean, you take 1 day of vacation on Monday and you get a 4-day weekend. So, and then a 3-day week, nobody's going to give their all. So it really, it's got to suck to be an employer during those weeks. Anyway, yes, 1822, the first weekend of July is the plan. Now, this one's going to be a little bit different, as might High Frontier. And the reason being for that is they are such long games and such involved teaches that we are probably going to either record or live stream the teaching in and of itself as its own video. And Tony and I actually are talking about doing a joint teach on 1822 as its own video, and then we will live stream it probably in 2 or 3 parts in the same day with scheduled intermissions and go from there. Because if you're gonna, live stream a game that long, I think that's the right way to do it. And since 1822 won the Golden Elephant Award, we don't want to do an abbreviated playthrough of it. We want to do the whole kit and caboodle. Now, do I realize that only some real crazy sickos out there are going to want to watch the entire playthrough? Yes. Do I think somebody will? Oh, most definitely. I think it'd be a lot of, and hopefully folks tune in. Hey, that's what I'm doing this Saturday or Sunday or whichever day we decide to do it. I think that'd be a lot of fun. And the as an aside, I'm gonna come back to the whole term peanut gallery as well. Let me make note of that. But yeah, hopefully the folks watching will be able to help keep us entertained as well as us entertain them throughout the whole live stream. So yeah, look for that the first weekend in July. As far as other 18xx's, now here's the thing. We've done 1846. I'm of the mind that we should also live stream shorter 18xx's and show folks just how quickly some of these really can play. Now, obviously, whenever we do live streams, that tends to add some time, an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours to the actual gameplay in some cases, just because we're over-explaining, not over, but thinking out loud and explaining all of our moves instead of just do and boom, next player's turn. That said, the game that I would most like to live stream myself is 1857. And the reason for that is it plays truly in 2.5 hours. The problem is you can't get it. Now, would that follow in line with kind of, our mantra of, oh, is it, out of print? Yeah. Okay. Then we can live stream it. That's said somewhat in jest and somewhat tongue in cheek, but that said, it's kind of true. Sorry. However, 1857 is one of my very favorite 18xx games. It truly is a school night, but it's just unavailable. Now, you guys will hear if you listen to tonight's episode and my little 10-minute interview with Scott Peterson from All Aboard. Maybe down the road, possibly some of the Winsomes he can reprint the 18xx. I mean, there's nothing coming. Let me head that off at the pass. There's nothing imminent. There's no deal. There's no nothing like that. Just maybe that would be cool, right? So yeah. So no, there's no other 18xx's planned right now, but that doesn't mean there won't be any. I mean, honestly, we're planned up through this week or next week, as it were, with Origins, and then we're going to do High Frontier. Terraforming Mars the following week. We're going to do Arkwright sometime in June. We're going to do Forbidden Stars sometime in June. We have High Frontier in July, and we have 1822 in July. So, like, we have some idea of some of the games, excuse me, that we're going to be live streaming, but we don't have the entire, like, next 6 weeks planned out yet. So anything could get added. How's that? Wow, that was a long answer to a really short question. Sorry about that, guys. Hopefully it's interesting. When I catch up in about 20 minutes, I'll find out whether or not you guys thought that was interesting or not. And I'm glad Asher's in here. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate that you guys are here. Obviously, why else would I be doing this? But it's kind of a one-sided conversation. At least this way I can act like Asher's listening, right? Because he's physically in here. All right. Let's see. Thank you, everybody, for the birthday wishes. I genuinely appreciate that. It feels weird because it feels like a regular day to me because everybody's at work. It's a Thursday, and I'm working on the show. Not this. I mean, this I thoroughly enjoy hanging out with y'all. I really do. I really wish y'all would just come on over and we could play some games. That'd be ideal, you know? That'd be kind of cool. But as it is, so instead, that's why I planned this today, so I could kind of have some company on my birthday. So thanks for joining me, y'all. Anyway, we can have a playthrough of Triumph and Tragedy, please. Yes. Only because you said please. No, not true. We definitely... So, okay, blame Brian, okay, on this. The plan, when I quit my job and was going to be given basically 8 weeks to be able to pump out a whole ton of content, because he was fun employed as well. He went and got a job. So there goes our chance to play 2-player war games during the day and live stream them. So, yeah, thanks, Brian. Kind of selfish. Ooh, I need insurance. What's that? Huh? But I'm marking it down, and I will. How about we say we do that by the end of July? That sound fair? Triumph and Tragedy by the end of July? Yeah, end of July. So it shall be written, so it shall be done. Boom. Let's see. City of Big Shoulders. Yeah, so I thought I would... that's why I have this stack of games that you guys can't see. There we go. We'll do this again. So we have the Winsomes from 2017. We have the production copy of Lisboa here, which I'll show off tomorrow, I said, right? Yeah. I just subscribe at the bottom and make sure you use the little yellow bell. I'm probably not going to announce it. It's just going to be like Gonzo live streaming. And then this down here is the other game that we're going to be live streaming Saturday. That's the Age of Steam XL. So I kind of want to show it off, and I kind of don't. What do y'all think? We'll wait till I catch up and see if you guys want to see it, or you want to be surprised on Saturday. But anyway, the heavy cardboard map's in there as well. So that's the map we're going to be live streaming Saturday. So the City of Big Shoulders. So this is a prototype. I'd heard of this a number of months ago, and the designer, and I'm terrible with names. Would you believe his name's not on here? I know what it is, too, and I just can't think of it. Anyway, it's on BGG. This is very much a prototype, but it looks pretty cool. It says it's a heavy economic Eurogame. We haven't played it yet. He originally was going to send these for us to check out at HeavyCon, but things happened and didn't make it in time, and so we didn't get a chance. So I'm actually going to take a look at it next week, and it's supposed to be 18xx-ish or inspired by, with the investing and everything. I know there was a big kerfuffle on, that's a fun word, isn't it? Kerfuffle. There was a big kerfuffle on BGG about, it says it's, it was labeled as 18xx, and it's very much not that. However, anxious to take a look at it. So I thought I would try and give it a little bit of heads up. So go check that out on BGG, and you guys can check it out there. Raymond Chandler III. That's it. I am terrible with names, so I'm glad I got a chance to, somebody hooked me up there. Thanks, fellas. Appreciate that. Let's see. Yeah. So, and I guess I should have said when we were talking about High Frontier, that will be the, oh, wait, getting ready for Essen, third edition we will be playing, which the table will be here, supposed to be here Friday, and we'll play on the obnoxiously large map. Provided it fits, it will fit. It's a massive board. It's a huge board. Looks great, though. And the funny thing is I remember when I saw the High Frontier board the very first time, and then I saw the third edition in person, looking at it, just going, wow, that looks incredible. It's beautiful. And looks terrifying at the same time. Like, what do all these lines mean? Once you understand the rules, it's really obvious and really, God, I hate using this word, but elegant the way it's laid out. It's really well done. So yeah, looking forward to that. I think, but I don't know. Last weekend's was less than ideal, the playthrough. So yeah, I think it'll be fine going forward, though. I'm really looking forward to live streaming that for y'all. Terrified of teaching and how many things I'm going to get wrong or forget. And don't worry, I assure you the internet will let me know. But you know what? We're crazy enough to try it, so why not? Let's give it a try. Let's see. Ryan Freshman says, never played an 18xx game, but the itch I'd like to scratch is heavy games. Where does one start with 18xx? So the two best games, depending on what type that you think you might enjoy, the ones that we always recommend are 1846, which is completely available now thanks to GMT. Awesome. And if you prefer the Deep Thought Games version, then Scott over at All Aboard Games sells his version. The other one is 1889, is considerably more expensive than 1846. Again, because they are all made by hand, one by one. And I'm fairly certain 1889 also is All Aboard Games, so you can check that out. The reason I recommend those two, much more so than 1830, is 1846 removes the initial auction from the game, whereas in 1830, if you screw up during the initial auction, you can very much be out of the game before the game starts. Not a fan of that, because you have no idea how to value things your very first game. So that's an impossible thing to know. So why should you be penalized for that? So that's why I don't recommend 1830. However, plus it's about, 6 to 8 hours for your first play, assuming, all newbies or a table full of new players and just maybe one experienced player. 1889 is essentially 1830 on a smaller map in a shorter playtime, and you can always restart. And one thing that people sometimes recommend is 1830. Play up until like the 4 trains come out or something, and then restart, or just call that the game, which totally is fine. But if you're asking me what would I recommend, 1846 or 1889, yeah, those two. I would recommend 1857, but it's just not available. So I'm not going to have people spending, 150 games for an incomplete game, $150, because 1857, you need 1830. You need the tile set for 1830 to be able to even play it. It's a winsome. So yeah, so that's why I don't recommend that. Now, if you're a Grail hunter, 1857, the end. Do I have any favorite games on the later end of the gaming spectrum, or any games you like to play with non-gamers? Okay, I'll answer the second question first. So any games that we like to play with non-gamers. I'll be honest, we don't interact a lot with non-gamers. We're so busy with the show nowadays and everything else that it's our game group, and traveling to conventions and playing games with our game group. So we don't play a whole lot with non-gamers. Now, when some of our friends, like my buddy, one of my best friends, Jody, who's a professional poker player up in Vancouver, BC, when they come down, we played. So he and his brother, Jeremy, they came down and we played, let me think, Little Devils. Worst game I've ever played as far as for my ability. I love trick-taking games. I cannot do well at all in that game. I've never won that game. I'm horrible at it. And then we played, We played Saturn, so that would be one that's a lot of fun, but again, unavailable. Sorry. The Climbers also, which is soon to be reprinted, thankfully, by Capstone Games. That I highly recommend with non-gamers because anybody, kids, anybody can play that game, and it's phenomenal. And then we played Le Havre because I think that is a excellent gateway game. You have choice of two things: either take an offer or move your worker to a building. The end. Now, there's a lot more strategy involved there, but you have choice of two options. So I think that's an awesome, and they loved it. So yeah. So that's the second question. Now, do we enjoy any lighter games on the lighter end of the spectrum? So going super light, The Climbers, one of my all-time favorite games. I think it's my most played game. That or Crokinole are, even though we don't have a board, those are two of my favorite. I mean, Climbers isn't a dexterity game. It's just an abstract. But yeah, those are two of my favorite. Amanda and I both enjoy Castles of Burgundy, or what is it? Von Bergen die Bergen, I think is the German version of that. Anyway, Castles of Burgundy is one of our all-time favorites. Arboretum for trick-taking game, Trick of the Rails. So yeah, there's a ton. Now, it's a misnomer that we don't play anything but heavy games, and you guys we'll talk about that on tonight's episode when we record about HeavyCon. It's not all heavy all the time. It's just the majority, and it tends to be what we want the show to focus on. And so there's that. So yeah, there's plenty. We enjoy Grand Austria Hotel at 2 or 3 players. But yeah, there's a number of them out there, and I'm terrible at on the spot stuff like that. But yeah, there's a number of games out there that we really enjoy. In fact, I will probably make a list and live stream that list sometime in the near future on some of our favorite lighter games. Cool. Rob asks, what's my favorite splatter game? Yes. The answer is yes. No, truly, it depends on my mood. It could be any of the big 5. The big 5 being Antiquity, Indonesia, Food Chain Magnate, Roads and Boats, or Great Zimbabwe. All depends on my mood and what I'm just wanting to play. All 5 of them are completely different. All 5 of them are just unlike anything else out there, really. They're not like each other, nor like anything else. So it all depends on my mood. At any given time, any one of them could be my favorite splatter. What games do you own purely for nostalgia, theme, etc.? Example, let's see. Scott says, I own DR Congo for the theme. Oh, he works in international development. All right. Honestly, there is only one game that I strictly own for nostalgia. And I never played it back then, and I never played it since. But I saw it for a fair price back in the day and wanted to pick it up. And that's Blood Bowl 3rd Edition. I always wanted to make my own pitch and, custom 3D pitch for it. Never played the game, but I was fascinated by it back in the early 90s, I think it was. Maybe it's mid-90s. And just never, this is back when I was in the Marine Corps, so I never had time to play it, and I never would have had people to play it with, and I just wouldn't have wanted to take it on deployments with me, and so I never played it. But I found a Blood Bowl 3rd Edition 2.5, 3 years ago or something. Found it, and then I realize, I'm just never going to play it, so I'm actually looking to unload it. But yeah, that's the one. HeroScape, we have a pretty sizable collection that we're looking to get rid of as well. I love the idea of it because when I was a little kid, I always wanted to make model railroad train layouts. I really didn't care about the trains back in the day. I just wanted to make the layouts, building the landscapes, the buildings, the mountains, the streams, and all that. And that stuff still to this day fascinates me, and it's something that I absolutely want to do whenever I retire down the road. And HeroScape kind of scratched that itch for me a little bit, but then I realized we're just not going to play it that often, so we're looking to unload that. So maybe just those two, kind of, I would say. Thank you again for the birthday wishes, y'all. 18 with 24 years of experience. I don't ever want to be 18 again. No, no. I'd be okay with like 30 and 12 years of experience. I'm cool with that. All right. Any plans for an Arkwright video? Yes, I will say that. Let me look at the calendar real quick. So we have Origins from the 14th through the 18th, and how about by the end of June? Yeah, let's do that. Arkwright, end of June. There we go. See? Ask. Real simple. Done. All right. Yeah, hopefully folks dig that. So we also have the Meeple Realty insert, which is phenomenal for that and definitely recommended. So we'll show that off while we're playing that as well. That'd be cool. Nope, Matt is not just off screen trolling me. No, he is not. He is actually at work. I wish, because I would play more games if people were home during the day. Dana is writing her book, so I don't bother her. So that's it. And Asher, I would love to like play Terraforming Mars. He doesn't have thumbs. He can't hold the cards. Jeff asks, have we gotten Leaving Earth yet, or a chance to play? Had a chance to play at HeavyCon and just didn't get around to it. Do we have it? No. And I just... Yeah, I can't really say the reason why I'm a little bit apprehensive about picking it up. There's a long sordid history behind that, which it's probably best not said in public. But yeah, it's I would like to try it at some point. I've heard really good things, but I just haven't yet. Let's see. David says. Heavy Cardboard's poised to become the premier show for serious gaming enthusiasts. I look nowhere else for gameplay guidance. Thanks, Edward. Keep up the great job. David, checks in the mail. Thank you. Hey, we work really hard at trying both with the studio here. Again, thanks to our patrons, as well as just trying not to get any rules wrong in our live plays and just showing folks what it's like to play these, as well as our reviews. We work really hard at it, so it means a lot when we hear that that people really appreciate the effort, I think is a good way to put it. So that's awesome. As long as there's demand for this kind of content, we will continue to do it. It's up to y'all, the viewers and listeners, to dictate whether the demand is there or not. I mean, whether it's by spreading the word, views, downloads, Patreon, whatever. It's entirely 100% dependent on y'all, because if when we hit publish, nobody listens or watches, why do it, right? I mean, we're obviously we're doing it because it's fun. First and foremost, we thoroughly enjoy it. Secondly, I like to teach. It's something that is natural to me, so I enjoy this aspect of the hobby. I enjoy the perks that come with being part of media. And there's some aspect of ego in this. Anybody who says otherwise is honestly full of crap, because if there's no ego involved, why do you hit publish? Why wouldn't you just record it and never publish it? So, of course, there's some aspect to that, right? But honestly, it really is altruistic in a lot of sense, that I just enjoy this hobby. I'm enthusiastic about it, especially this aspect of the hobby, what Heavy Cardboard focuses on. And I don't like using the term evangelize, but I want to provide a welcoming environment for folks that are interested. And I want to show folks that, wow, this is not 4 or 5 people sitting around the table never talking, like, your turn. Your turn. We're not like that. And I think there's a big misnomer about that, or a wrong stereotype in a lot of circles, that's what, not saying us in particular, I'm saying us as heavy gamers, and the main reason to be for doing this to begin with was to show folks and to make it more approachable and show folks that, hey, these are really fun games. Like, what is fun to us is burning this and agonizing over these tough decisions. And it's that whole competition of decision making that I have said repeatedly, whether it's on the podcast or the live stream, that, I mean, this is fun for us. This is really enjoyable. And we want to show folks that, wow, you really can have fun while, twisting your brain and having it leak out your ears. So as long as there's a interest in that, we'll keep doing it, All right, let me catch up here. Already answered about leaving Earth. Have not yet. There's a lot of rules in Lisboa, and I said this, I think I said it in person, so I don't think I've actually said it publicly. And maybe I have. I can't remember. Oh, no, I did during the live stream with Vital. That was it. That Lisboa is the first game that, when I have taught it, that I have truly felt that the theme really makes the game easier. Teaching or using the theme to remember rules and why things work. And it really does a remarkable job of doing that. And you guys will see it when I teach it on Tuesday. The theme, it's really going to come through, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy that. So, I'm looking forward to it. Nick asks, have we had a chance to play demo and advanced copy of John Company? If so, any preliminary thoughts? The answer to that is kind of yes and no. And the reason is one of our buddies, Mark Van Minden, he had an early edition of it, and we played it and really kind of dug it. I thought that was pretty clever. However, it has since pretty drastically changed since then. Like, when we played it, there wasn't a board. There's a board now. And there were a number of those going on at HeavyCon that there were at least 2 copies of it that I know of at HeavyCon, and a bunch of people were playing it. We didn't get a chance to play it, so I don't feel like I'm in a position to comment on the older version. I liked what I played there, but I couldn't tell you enough about the newer version of it. So, hopefully we'll get sent one ahead of time, and we can do that. That's up to Cole and Phil, so we'll see. Somebody says 1849 or 1860 is a live stream. 1860 would be awesome, because I think that's something Amanda and I could play 2-player. It's one of the few 18xx's that plays well 2-player, and I think that'd be a lot of fun. I think that's a great idea. I will mark that down. 49 we don't have. That's why I'm not gaffing that off. We don't have it. I have access to it because, well, I have access to Paul, Chad, and Tony, so therefore I have access to everything. But yeah. I'm a lot more familiar with 1860. Let's see. People are talking about High Frontier 3rd edition funding a while back, and some folks still haven't received their copies. That's unfortunate. I had nothing to do with it. I actually didn't back it because I was legitimately worried about the way that they weren't the most responsive. And so I decided not to back it. So I bought it after the fact, straight from them, and got it. So I can't speak to that. Sorry, guys. War games. It's coming. I promised a few of them by the end of the month, and I promise we will get at least one of them by the end of the month. What ones? To be determined. Like to see a playthrough of Lords of the Sierra Madre. We don't have it, and if you want to send it, I'll take a look at it. I've heard stories, but yeah, not planned in the foreseeable future. All right, Travis. Cool. We'll see you in a few hours. Yeah, right? Yeah, the reason we haven't live streamed Terraforming Mars yet, honestly, is we were waiting for the new table, which is supposed to arrive tomorrow. Happy birthday, yay. The reason for that is with it being a handful of cards, we didn't figure there would be a really good way to show that. And the Tableau camera that sits right above where I'm at right here would be great for my Tableau, but it wouldn't really pick up the cards. So we have card holders coming as a part of our table, and we thought that would be a really cool way to do it, and having actually a fifth camera sitting right here zoomed in on my hand of cards along with the Tableau camera, and we're able to do that now. And so once the table gets here, that's why the week after Origins is when we're going to do Terraforming Mars. Really looking forward to that. I think that'll be a lot of fun, and I think hopefully it's popular. That'd be cool, right? Yes, Travis, you come to the airport, I will pick you up. We're 15 minutes away. Deal. Yeah, Vincent says, I've seen you with the Portland Game Store. Yes, next time come by to my city. Whoa. My question for you, Vincent, is how old are you? I'm 42 today. The reason I ask is I'm from Portland. Originally, we went up there, hang out with Jim, and originally Eric, but Eric was busy flying to like China or something from Punching Cardboard. So I would say it's my city. Just saying. I don't know. How old are you, Vincent? Let's have a chat about this. And yes, Brian, it is totally your fault. You got a job. All right. Oh, wow. I'm really behind. I'm sorry, guys. Let's see. Aegis Theme XL. So I finally caught up to that. So I have 2 votes for yes, 1 for no. Holy cow, am I behind? I'm sorry, guys. Surprise us. Well, it's 2 for 2, it looks like. So sorry, you guys are going to have to wait until Saturday. All right. I'll show you the cover of the box. How's that? Happy medium? All right, hold on. Oh, Lisboa is really heavy. Oh, you guys can't see. That's mean. Wow, that's horrible of me. Hold on. There you go. Oop, there you go. Aegis Theme XL. No, this is not available. Yes, this is custom. But it's awesome. It's not, this is not mine. This is Paul Chad's. So thank you to Paul Chad. Thank you to Chad of BoardGameTables.com, who is part of the Kansas City crew that actually came up with this. And it was actually unveiled originally at the original HeavyCon. And it's amazing. And we play it every year. That's now kind of a tradition. They do 1 or more extra maps every year for this just for the con. And it's ridiculous. In an awesome way. You guys will see it on Saturday. So hopefully you guys tune in for the live stream. So cool. All right, let's move that back so you don't see the clutter. There we go. Any games we're excited for at Origins? So it's like this. I'm excited to meet viewers, listeners to the show. I'm excited to see a lot of friends, both in and out of the industry, that we have made, like Clay. I'm looking forward to, and a bunch of publishers, designers, and all that. But as far as games, so this is kind of weird, right? That a lot of the games, like I've watched other shows, top 10, top 15, whatever lists of anticipation. And I'm like, there are some, the biggest one being Lignum, but here's the thing. We live streamed it before HeavyCon. We've seen it. We've played it. That's awesome. The thing I'm excited about, I think, more so than the games for us, is y'all getting to actually be able to play the games that are coming out. I think that's awesome. I'm really, really excited for that. How's that? I know it's a bit of a cop-out, but it's true. There's not a ton coming out at Origins that I'm super jazzed about. It's more about the people. Speaking of which, this would be a good time for me to mention, thanks to Joe from the Deep End podcast. He messaged me the other day and said, "Hey, are you guys having a meetup at Origins?" I said, "No." I said, "This is our first time going to Origins, so we're not familiar with it. Plus, no one has volunteered." He said, "Hold on 1 minute." And it actually took him 8 minutes. I kid you not. 8 minutes later, we now have a meetup for a room for like 50, 60, 70 people. So it's going to be at Pies and Pints, just north of the convention center, about half, 3/4 of a mile north of the convention center, on Thursday at 7 p.m. That's right, 7 p.m. Thursday at Origins. If you want to come hang out, we're probably not going to have a whole lot. Like, it's going to be us. We're not going to have a lot of giveaways. It was very much last minute. We'll have t-shirts if you're interested in purchasing some of those. Other than that, it's just going to be, hey, let's hang out and enjoy Origins, that type thing. So yeah. But as far as actual games, I'm excited to experience Origins for the first time. Yes, North Market. I know all about that. We're excited about that. The ice cream store, Jenny's, Genie's, something like that. Sounds awesome. And there's a barbecue joint that we're going to have to take a cab to go check out. But that sounded awesome too. So looking forward to that. And if you're wanting to hang out with us and play games, our home base of operations is going to be at Capstone Games booth. Clay was nice enough to offer us kind of like what we did at Essen last year with What's Your Game. Just kind of, we're going to be there a few hours each day. We'll promote it on Twitter and Facebook and whatever, where we'll be. And other than that, we're going to play games. So come hang out with us and find us and let's play some games. That'd be cool. So if you can't come over for my birthday today to play games and you're going to Origins, you can make it up to me and we'll play some games there. How's that? I think that works. Will we be playing High Frontier with the errata corrections? If I find them and am able to look them up and they make sense, then yes. What do we think of Carl Chudik's Glory to Rome and Innovation? Oh, hey, Tony. Didn't even realize that. Hi. Big fan of Glory to Rome. The problem is I burn out on games. If I play them too often in too short of a time span, I burn out on them. And that was the first game that I truly, truly burn out on. We played the hell out of it. I want to say close to 20 times in the span of a month. And I can't do that. That doesn't work well for me. And I burn out on it. I had, at one point, we had powered through 4 different copies of the Black Box edition and sold them all. And I don't own it anymore because this was 3 years ago. And ever since, I've had zero interest in playing that game again because I burn out on it so bad. So I am very leery of doing that with subsequent games. And it's a good thing I have a podcast and a YouTube channel in which we have to constantly churn through games. It keeps things fresh for me, which I desperately need. I have learned that about myself. As far as Innovation, I've played it once. That was at last year's HeavyCon. And enjoyed it. I mean, the chaos, it was kind of cool. It was kind of fun, but I would have to play it more to really have an opinion on it. So, yeah, there's that. What do we think of Snowdonia? I think we're going to review it and live stream it at some point this summer. That's a plan. And I realize that Dave is shilling here since Tony Boydell's in the chat. But no, it's one that we enjoy. It's a lighter game with an awesome theme, and I love that. If you guys have heard the interview I had with Tony from Essen last year, the kind of the history behind it. Same with Guilds of London. I appreciate games that try to bring that in because I'm a big history buff. So yeah, look for that sometime this summer. And what do you mean a bit rude? Have you met Tony? No, I'm kidding, Tony. I'm kidding. Is HeroScape still a 10? Man. So that's really hard, right? So I'm trying to sell the game. So I'm getting out from under it because we don't play it. But if I played it, man, I love that game. And I think it's more nostalgia than anything, which is why I'm very leery of any games that try to capitalize on my 40-something now love of my childhood, whether that's the Goonies or like I'm surprised we haven't seen a Red Dawn game or anything like that. I completely dismiss those because they're capitalizing on what may or may not be good games, but they're capitalizing on the nostalgia pull, which doesn't appeal to me in the least. I want to keep my childhood pure, in a sense, in that respect at least. So to answer your question, no, if I'm being honest, probably not. I probably would have to go back and really think on what that game truly is for me and go from there. Michael, UK says, how much are you involved in a theme of a game? Are you okay with launching a jihad crusade or a jihad/crusade in Pax Ren, or suicide attacks in Labyrinth, War on Terror? I have zero issue whatsoever with anything like that. I'm the exception to this rule. I fully understand that. I don't think there is a game that could be made that the theme would just, in and of itself, I would say, no, I won't play that. Obviously, there would have to be some very good reason as to why to play some topics, but I have zero issue with launching the jihad in Pax Ren or suicide bombing in Labyrinth, because it's a game, and it's, as long as the games are treat history with respect and they're honest about it regarding the history, I have no problem with that. Now, that said, obviously I wasn't in a concentration camp in World War II. I did have relatives that were, but does that keep me from playing as the Germans or the Nazis in a war game? The answer is no. I have friends that served. Now, I got out of the Marine Corps 3 days before 9/11, so I never went to Afghanistan. Now, we were a part of operations when Yugoslavia broke up, and then I was a part of the first Marine Corps unit ever deployed to the country of Hungary during when Kosovo was going down. And I have zero issue playing, I can't think of the name. It's War on TV, I think. It's a magazine game regarding the Kosovo thing. I have zero issue with it as long as the game treats history authentically and with respect. As long as you do those two things, I have zero issue with playing any type of controversial theme. This is why I have zero issue with there being, and I'm trying to think, because it's not that I'm trying to tread carefully, but here's a good example. Like in the game Founding Fathers, there are no women in the game, right? As far as, because there were no Founding Father women. I have zero problem with that. Why would there be? It's a historic game. I have no problem with that. I have zero problem if I can't think of anything, and maybe when I get through the chat, you guys will bring up colonialism. Actually, is a perfect example. I have zero problem with that game, and in fact, I applaud both Uli over at Spielworks as well as Steven. I can't think of the designer's name of Colonialism, because what that game is you are an unnamed colonial power in which you have to exterminate the native population before raping the land of its resources. And it's disturbing in a sense that it's a very dark theme, and it's very abstracted. Obviously, it's all cubes and discs and stuff like that. I have zero problem with that game because it's not being disrespectful to the history. And this just in, colonialism happened. It's not something that we should be afraid of. It's not something we should whitewash and erase from history. Some people, if you're not comfortable with it being in a game, don't play the game. But to think that the game isn't a good game because of the theme, or to avoid the game because of the theme, that's a personal decision. I have no problem with anybody that wants to not play a game like that. I have zero problem. I thoroughly enjoy the game because of the way it handles the history and the abstraction of it. I think it's fantastic. And it's something that I actually want to review on the show because of that. And this just in, it's a really good game. We really enjoy it. So yeah, anyway, that was a really, really long answer. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I just really feel strongly about that. But bottom line, play what you dig, right? If you don't want to play a game because of X, Y, or Z, don't play it. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely. You should play games that you enjoy. Whatever you define as enjoyment, find games that do that for you. And that's the important thing. I don't care if it's Splendor. I don't care if it's The Climbers. I don't care if it's an 18XX. I don't care if it's War on Democracy. Play whatever game you find enjoyment for in whatever way you find enjoyment. Bottom line, man. I mean, it's a hobby we should be having mutual enjoyment and socializing in, and do that. That's what this is about, right? Anyway, all right. Sorry. All right, Daniel asked what other cons we're going to this year. Well, we were originally going to go to the Rocky Mountain Gaming Vacation because that's right up in Breckenridge. Scheduling and timing and communication wasn't the best on that, so we're not going there this year. Next year we should. But we're going to Origins next week, obviously. Then we're going to WBC for the entire time, although I think we're leaving Saturday evening, the second Saturday, so we'll be there for 8 days. I'm really excited about that. Really pissed off that Dominant Species is not a sponsored event anymore, so I can't go and try and get a world championship in Dominant Species. I've gone through the list, and I'm intimidated by most of the other games that are on that list, but Dominant Species? Come on, man. Next year. All right, so anyway, Origins, WBC. Then we have a couple of local cons, like BCon / Conclave of Gamers we'll be going to. And then the next big one is going to be Essen from there. And we have our meetup there on Friday night. And then depending on how things play out with employment-wise and what I'm doing for a living at that point, whether or not we go to BGGCon. So, and then from there, hopefully the Arizona Game Fair, turning the calendar into 2018, and then Lyricon in Lisbon, Portugal. I think it's in Lisbon, or it's Lyra, right? Anyway, it's in Portugal, March 1st, 2018, and then obviously HeavyCon 2018, and then rinse and repeat. So that's what we got going on there. All right, Vince says, and I'm just going to keep going until I'm out of questions. How's that? Until I'm caught up and you guys no longer want to watch. So I have nothing else going on today other than recording once Amanda gets home in a few hours. So yeah, let's chat. In terms of later games, I picked up Century Spice Road a couple of weeks ago. It's a pretty good light game. Changing cubes into cubes with a little puzzle element. I saw that played a couple times at HeavyCon. In fact, Tony and Paul Chad played it the other night at Tony's house, and Paul Chad had nothing but, I mean, he's a train gamer, Age of Steam guy. He made Age of Steam XL, as well as the 1861 XL, and they really enjoyed it. I haven't played it, but I've heard good things, so there's that. And now Vince says he also enjoyed it, so there's that. Take care, Dave. I realize it's after the fact now, but that's all right. Okay, so here's a question. So Triple X Customs says you should become the Rodney Smith of heavy games. You've saved me several rule book reads. I would like to say that we are the first heavy cardboard folks, or Edward Euler of Heavy Cardboard. I'd like to be that. Rodney Smith does an amazing job, as does Paul Grogan at their way of teaching rules. That's not what we're trying to be. We prefer the interaction and the real. Let me rephrase that, because what they do totally is real, and I don't want to. I respect and appreciate what both those guys do. However, we just go about it a different way, because the whole game day at Heavy Cardboard, when we teach you guys how to play games and live stream games, we want to invite you into our table and teach you how to play as if you were sitting here at the table. And that's the approach that we take. Essentially doing the same thing, just completely different ways. But the way those guys do it, they kill it. For the way they do it, it's amazing work, and they have a lot more editing skills, obviously, than we do, and they're very, very well versed in the way they do their work, which I appreciate. It's just we do a different way, and we cover different games. Now, obviously, there's a little bit of crossover, especially more with Grogan, Buddy Paul, and us, but yeah, definitely, I appreciate that, but we dig what we do. It seems a lot of folks do. So yay, win-win, right? All right. Cutter Robert says, I've talked to my game group about trying an 18XX at some point. How do I address their hesitation about the mathiness of the genre? Honestly, have them go watch our 1846 video and see if that looks interesting to them. That would be my bet. I mean, you truly get to see the game in action, and you get to see us mathing out the stuff and counting routes and doing everything and playing the game. So show them the link to the video and have them watch a bit of it. Not the rules teach, just the actual gameplay, and see if that interests them. If it doesn't, then I don't know what to tell you. It might 18XX games are not for everybody. Well, honestly, there's no game that's for everybody except maybe the Climbers. But yeah, there's nothing wrong if folks don't dig an 18XX game. They don't dig it. So, okay, don't play it. But that would be my best suggestion, I think. Zachary says, Antiquity's getting a reprint this year. Will we be getting a playthrough of that in the next few months? Yes, we will do so before those start shipping and show it off. And this way, folks can make a decision before Essen if that's something that interests them. I'm a little, I'll be honest, I'm a little miffed at Joris right now, because Jeroen comes to HeavyCon every year, and he and I sat down, and you guys are actually going to hear it tonight in tonight's episode. We talked for about 7-8 minutes, and recorded it, talking about Antiquity as well as their next game that's just in. There's not a lot of news on that yet, because they don't know yet what's coming next. And Jeroen talked about everything that Joris let out of the bag about 4 days too early. So, but anyway, hopefully you guys enjoy hearing from Jeroen on that. Yeah, so look for a live stream before that drops. The new version of Antiquity, that is. What about Splatter's 1830 BC or UR 1830 BC? Haven't played it, so don't know. Hello, new people. Shogun was a lot of fun. I would like to get a copy of it. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Surprisingly, a lot of fun when we played that up at Jim's house when we went up to Portland. That was a really great time. And Tony Bidel's doing it wrong. He says, my next USA vacation would be my first. I'll have to see if I can sneak in Gen Con next year. Gen Con's in August. You do realize HeavyCon's in May, at the end of May, right, Tony? Just saying. Aegis Theme XL Moon. Chad, if you're watching, make that happen. I think that would be fantastic. Yeah, God bless you, Tony. He says they played Glory to Rome 3 times a night, 3 nights a week for 9 months. I can't do it. That's just not the way I'm built. I cannot do that. So I'm glad you can, but very much not me. Vince is giving me feedback here for how to organize the Heavy Cardboard yearly anticipation geek list, organized by date added, not alphabetical. I'll take that into consideration. I need to update that. I've been slacking, but now that things are starting to calm down, I will try and update that before we go to Origins. That's a good idea. Good call. Let's see. No, not nitpicky. I appreciate the feedback, man. You're doing fine. Don't sweat it. Yeah, we can't fix what we don't know is broken. I say broken, but I think you get the sentiment on what I'm trying to say there. Rick says, would I be okay with going back to the conversation about theme? Would I be okay with secret weapons of the Third Reich? You betcha. I have zero issue playing as a scientist working to develop weapons for the Nazis. It's a game. And fairly historic, because this just in, there were scientists working on designs for the Third Reich. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I don't have a problem with that. We also played Wings for the Baron, which is World War I. All the players work as aircraft manufacturer and design companies trying to develop aircraft for the Germans, for the Central Powers in World War I. And you can lose if the Allies get to a certain point. It's not a co-op, but there is a mutual... kind of like how CO2 isn't necessarily a co-op. It's kind of like that from Victory Point games. Thought it was really clever, and I appreciated the theme because it's something different, and we dug it. We own it, so I would definitely say check that out. Wings for the Baron, I believe is what it's called, from Victory Point games. Definitely pretty cool. Later, Matt. Sorry to keep you up so late, Vince. Let's see. Oh, I'm catching up. Here we go. Take care, Anthony or Tony. Reading and yeah. Anyway, thanks again, everybody, for the birthday wishes. Yeah, appreciate that. Different strokes for different folks when it comes to teaching styles. I teach how I like to learn, and folks seem to dig it, so that works out. Cool. Oh, that's right. They did make an Aegis Theme XL Moon map this year at HeavyCon, didn't they? I didn't play it. We played the XL with Holland, which seems appropriate because Jeroen was there, and he played it 7-player, and I got smoked. I don't think I finished last. I think I finished 6th. So there's that. But yeah, I'm terrible at that map, but that was a lot of fun. Eric says, so I picked up a copy of Arcray on Heavy Cardboard's recommendation. Thank you. You're welcome. I would like to request to teach and play. You look for it. Go back a few minutes and you'll hear that that's going to be by the end of June. Will we be live streaming and teaching clinic? Yeah, we could do that. I can add it to the list. Also, Brad, if you guys want to link to the request geek list on BGG, I would say go add it if it's not there, or thumb it if you would like it to rise to the top of the list. Go do that. No, it's not that Amanda didn't like Clinic. It's that it broke her brain, like the 3D aspect, and it kicked my butt too. So it's definitely not a her thing. The 3D aspect of Clinic is really, really hard. And Albin has this fetish with spatial as well as mathematical stuff. And I just am not a master at all of that. And I'm very, very bad at spatial stuff. But I think it's funny watching me struggle in these games on live streams. And I think that's funny. Like, I usually do terrible on our live streams because I'm obviously running the live stream and trying to play, and usually play terribly. So I hope folks don't think that's how I really am in real life, but sometimes I also play terribly in real life. So I guess we'll find out at Origins when we play some of these games, hopefully. The guys are out doing the lawn right now, so I apologize if you guys can hear that. Any other Albin VR playthroughs coming? Love to see Small City, Card City XL, Small City for sure. The others, we'll see. but small city for sure. And I realized after we made the schedule this week that we actually have 2 days of back-to-back Vital Lacerda games. Totally on accident. The fact that we have Kanban on Monday and then Lisboa on Tuesday. It just so happened that our game of the month for Mondays is Kanban, so we were like, yeah, why don't we live stream that? And then Lisboa, I just wanted to be able to live stream it before it released at Origins. So yeah, I thought that was a little odd, not on purpose. Another actually that we're going to live stream, which is either going to be really boring or really interesting, is we're going to do the climbers when we get back from Origins. I think that'll be a lot of fun. We just need to be able to set up a camera to where you can kind of see a 3D angle of it, because the main top-down camera wouldn't really work real well with that. So we're going to have to kind of have 4 cameras around the table to show the different angles of that. And I think that would be a lot of fun to be able to watch everybody struggle with that game. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So that's going to be coming as well. Games on the radar for 2017 Golden Elephant Award so far. There's one. Lisboa is the one that jumps off the table. I'm hoping that Fields of Despair will be on there. 18 Ireland could be on there. I'm really hoping Mr. President makes it out this year by GMT. That is probably my most anticipated game of all time. That and next year is Stellar Horizon. So yeah, so of the games we've played so far, Lisboa definitely is a quite possible candidate for it, I would say. Vince asks, he's asking about the chat, the differences between Spielworks' and Capstone's Arkwright. Not much by way of components. Just the misprint on the player boards is different. And difference between the retail and Kickstarter editions of Lisboa. That I don't know the answer to. You would have to go look at the Kickstarter probably for that. Have we played any of the small city expansion maps? We have not yet. We haven't exhausted the small city base game map, and I still get my butt kicked at it because it's a hard game, but I love it. And everybody so far in our group just about that has played it has really enjoyed it. So no, we have them, just haven't played them yet. Oh, hey. All right. Thoughts on 4X games? Depending on how they're implemented, I can really like them. I dig 4X games in general. Just obviously some are better than others. I'm still waiting for the best 4X game because I don't think it's out yet. I haven't found like the 4X game, in my opinion. Wow, I've caught up? Really? All right. Yeah, I know. Mr. President's probably 2018, but I'm still hoping it can sneak in for this year just because I am really chomping at the bit to check out that game. That looks like... nope, not going to say it. Never mind. Just really looking forward to trying my hand and Amanda and I tag teaming as the president. House of Cards-like, but less drama, hopefully. I think that would be a lot of fun. Any thoughts on a Hushbell Connect expansion? No, I haven't played it. However, I hope it gives the game the needed variability that it needs for replayability, because it got stale for us after a handful of plays and we weren't super keen on it, and that's why we got rid of it. So I hope that it's definitely it improves upon the game and the variability. I hope. I haven't heard anything on it yet, so I know it's out there in the wild though. So hopefully, good things come of that. Oh, and people asking about the HeavyCon Denver Tramways map. Couldn't think of the word. So Albin Viard, if you guys hadn't heard, he made a promo for us to give away at HeavyCon, numbered and signed, of Denver with HeavyCon on there and Heavy Cardboard headquarters and all that on there, which that's pretty surreal if you're us. That was pretty amazing. I mean, it's all the words, right? It was pretty crazy. But the good news is he's going to wait until next year to make it special for the HeavyCon attendees, which I think is awesome of him. So thank you to Albin for that. But he also realizes there are a lot of junkies out there like me who can be completionists and will be really upset if they can't get their hands on a Tramways map because it's an exclusive. Well, it's exclusive for the next handful of months, let's say 6 to 12 months. He's going to make it available. It won't be numbered. It won't be signed, but he's going to make it available and sell them on his website. So I think that's the best of both worlds, if in my opinion, at least. And I got to say, it's pretty, I don't know if y'all are anything like me, that I get excited when I see my hometown or where I live on a map, right? Like, anytime there's Portland on a map or there's Denver on a map, I get excited. I'm like, dude, I want to play that because we're on the map. And I don't know if y'all are anything like me. I thought that's just cool, right? Well, the Denver map has our house on there, and that's both surreal, truly unbelievable. The epitome of that word. Like I have a hard time believing that that's real, and that's really cool. Matt, our roommate, and part of the technical side of Heavy Cardboard here, as well as a member of our group, and he's been on a bunch of live streams with us. He played it at HeavyCon, and he's like, yeah, I built my route to work, and I'm like, that's just weird and awesome all at the same time. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm excited for folks to be able to enjoy that, and I imagine we'll bring it with us to Origins. Speaking of which, something else I wanted to mention about that. So we've been in contact with Roxley, and they are letting us keep the prototypes for Brass, and for both Brass Lancashire as well as Birmingham. And we're going to bring them both to Origins. So if you want to try those, we will have them. Now, I'm not going to run games of them all day, every day. We're going to have a few of them out. And if people want me to teach it and like they play on a table next to me, I'm totally down for that. So if that's something that interests you and you're going to Origins, let's hook that up. That'd be a lot of fun, I think. Cool. All right. So, wow, I've caught up. Let me see. Yeah, that's it. If there's anything else, I'll stall for a couple of minutes, and then I guess we will wrap it up. So here, nobody asked, but I'm going to tell you guys anyway. So the other side of the studio, which you guys almost never see, you see it behind the other side of the table. You see the season 1 and season 2, which, Tony, if you're watching, we need season 3 now. Yeah, Heavy Cardboard just turned 3 years old 2 days ago. And now that's pretty cool. So we've made it through 3 years. Awesome. That side of the studio actually is not finished yet. And so that's why you guys don't normally see much of that side of the studio. That side is going to be for pre-recorded and like more of a studio setting and less of a live stream like this is. And it's going to have a TV on the wall. We're going to have a couple of stools, going to have the lavalier mics that we use instead of having the podcast mics that we use for this table. And going to have the camera set up for that for whenever we do in-studio stuff. Looking forward to that. After Origins, I got to paint that wall. I got to change a whole bunch of stuff. But the live stream stuff is not going to change. We are going to periodically change the stuff that's around behind us. But other than that, should be really excited to start doing some of that. Really excited for that. HeavyCon bigger next year? Well, that's entirely up to the attendees of HeavyCon this year. And so far, it seems like HeavyCon's going to grow by about 30-40% for next year. And that's it. So yeah, we're probably around 125. We had 94 attendees this year. We're probably going to grow to about 125 next year and limit it to that. So that'll be a lot of fun. A lot of work, but I would like to not talk about that after today for about 3 months and let that just rest. I'm still tired from that. It was a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. It's awesome, and I love doing it. But, man, that's a lot of work. I appreciate a whole lot what people like Jeff and others that run massive conventions. I mean, ours is only 100 people, and it's exhausting. But then again, it's me, Amanda, and a bunch of volunteers, local friends that are willing to help out. It's a lot of work. So if you go and you enjoy conventions and you see some of the organizers, go up and tell them thanks. That goes a long way. That really matters to folks. It really, really does. Because it is a shocking amount of work, to be honest, but totally worth it. Designers we really want for conversations. Man, everybody, John Bohr, I would like Francis Tresham, Tony Boydell. I mean, there's a longer list of designers that I do want that I don't want. And if you guys are enjoying the interviews, the long form interviews that I've been doing, let us know. Give us feedback on those. I mean, whether it's Stefan Riesthaus of Arkwright or Andre Spiel and Rolf Sego of Wildcatters with the second edition coming out. Martin Wallace, I think that would be, I mean, there's just a ton of designers I would love to do long form interviews with. Mark Herman, although I feel grossly inadequate to interview him yet. I don't have enough wargame experience yet. I think Tom Lehman would be awesome. Tom Russell would be cool. I mean, there's Alexander Huemer of Lignum. The Alexander Pfister. Basically, everybody that I did interviews with last year at Essen, I would love to do long form interviews with. And there's probably about another 100 that I would love to do that I haven't interviewed yet. Whether it's up and coming designers like Ryan Courtney and Jason Dinger, or whether it's long term designers, guys, like I said, like Martin Wallace and stuff like that. Francis Tresham, I think, would be the holy grail for me. That's a bucket list, which I'm hoping to do next year. Yeah, I think it would be awesome. As long as they speak English, and at least somewhat English, we can make do. We can make that happen. I think it would be awesome. I think it'd be a lot of fun. And hopefully you guys are enjoying them. And if not, then I'll just do it from a selfish standpoint because I really enjoy digging in and finding out the behind the scenes stuff. I'm the world's biggest 5-year-old. I'm constantly curious about the why and how of things, not just the final product. And so I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Are we coming into Columbus on Wednesday or Thursday for Origins? We are flying in Wednesday. We will be there Wednesday afternoon. If anybody wants to pick us up, we don't have a ride yet. All right. So I guess that's about it. I killed about an hour and 45 minutes. That's cool. I appreciate it. Not killed. I'm just saying, like, I'm here by myself. So the company's been nice. I appreciate it, y'all. It's been a lot of fun. Cool. All right. I guess that's it. So, all right. So upcoming live streams here. Let me actually bring that up. Or actually, I will bring it up at the end. So if you guys enjoy this, then please, subscribe, like the video, etc., etc. As always, this doesn't happen without our patrons, patreon.com/heavycardboard. This extra content and all the extra stuff that we're going to be doing and have been doing, if you want it to continue, then we need your support. It's that simple. So thank you for those that do and those that want to. We appreciate it. Even if it's just spreading the word, that makes a huge difference. It really does. So thank you very much. Other than that, I guess we have tomorrow. I will be doing the unboxing of Lisboa. a separate video. I'm going to show the 2017 Winsome games that came. And then Saturday, we have the Aegis Theme XL Heavy Cardboard map, which is available for print and play on BGG. On Sunday, we're doing a 5-player Indonesia. On Monday, we're doing Kanban. And Tuesday, we're doing Lisboa. So hopefully you all join us for the live streams. That'd be a lot of fun. And yes, 42 is the best year. It's answer to life, the universe, and everything, right? So I guess I guess Edward is that answer, at least for the next 364 days. At least I'm going to sell it as such. So awesome. Thanks a lot, y'all. Really, really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll talk to y'all soon. Don't forget, new episode drops tonight, the HeavyCon recap. Catch y'all later. Bye.